Hi guys, we are officially starting our first PLTW unit. We are going to start with a story, The Coyote Mystery. This is on the slideshow, of course, but I'm going to go ahead and read the story out loud to you. So feel free to listen to it this way or read it on the slideshow. After you've listened to it, there is an assignment at the end of the slideshow. So even if you choose to listen to the story, you will then need to go into the slideshow and find the blank slide at the end to put your answers. And I'll show you all that as we get there. Okay? The Coyote Mystery. Ecosystems, flow of matter and energy. Time out, called Milo, panting. He waved his hands to pause the game of tag. Angelina, Milo, and Susie met up at the water fountain out of breath. They took turns taking long drinks of lukewarm water. Hey, Susie, Milo said as he wiped his mouth. Can we come over and play with Hudson and Zoe after school? Hudson and Zoe were Susie's Labrador retrievers that her family got as rescues from a local shelter. The dogs loved to play outside with the kids. Susie wrinkled her nose. My parents said not to take Hudson and Zoe outside this week except for quick walks and to go to the bathroom, she told them sadly. Someone reported coyotes in our neighborhood, and my parents are worried the coyotes will attack our dogs. Oh no, poor dogs, exclaimed Angelina. I thought coyotes lived in deserts and forests, not neighborhoods. Where do you think they're coming from? Also, poor coyotes. It's probably not safe for them to be here with all the cars. I wonder what they are looking for. Maybe food or shelter, added Milo. Well, maybe we can come over to feed Hudson and Zoe and cheer them up if they're stuck inside, said Angelina. Good idea, agreed Susie. I can ask when my mom comes to pick me up. And we should ask Ms. Morales about the coyotes, said Angelina. After recess, I mean. For now, tag! Susie's it! Milo and Angelina laughed as they took off running again, with Susie close behind. After recess, Angelina, Milo, and Susie came over to Ms. Morales' desk. What is it? Asked Ms. Morales, smiling. You all have that look, like you have an important question. Ms. Morales, have you heard about the coyotes that have been seen around town? Asked Angelina. Ms. Morales said, I saw a news report about them. Why do you ask? Susie answered, my parents are worried about my dogs. We do not understand why coyotes are suddenly in our area. Seems like they should be in a habitat that works better for them and not in our neighborhood. Well, said Mrs. Morales thoughtfully, this is probably their natural habitat before we came here. This ecosystem has changed a lot over the years. The kids gave her confused looks. An ecosystem is a community of organisms that interact with each other and their environment, Ms. Morales explained. For example, in this ecosystem, there used to be a lot of trees and grass. This provided other living things like coyotes and the rabbits, squirrels, and mice they like to eat, with lots of room to make their homes. Now, the trees and grass have been developed into neighborhoods with houses and shopping centers, which means fewer rabbits, squirrels, and mice. So the coyotes have to look for other food. So new buildings got built over the animals' homes? Asked Milo. No wonder coyotes are hanging around in the neighborhood. Ms. Morales explained, coyotes are at the top of the food chain that starts with the sun and the plants. A food chain describes the order in which energy moves from organism to another. Plants get energy from the sun. Rabbits and small animals get their energy by eating the plants. Then coyotes usually get their energy by eating small animals. Ms. Morales continued, construction developments can quickly destroy a lot of plant life. This upsets an important balance in the ecosystem. Animals lose their homes or their food and must make changes in their behavior to adapt and survive. Coyotes are omnivores, which means they eat plants and animals, so it's not as hard for them to find food and adapt. Susie added, my mom says that people sometimes feed coyotes and that coyotes get into the garbage. That makes sense with the idea of a food chain. The coyotes eat human food instead of small animals, which disrupts the food chain. Come to think of it, Susie said with worry, more coyotes around means more danger for my dogs and other pets. I remember when the area was all trees where the new shopping center was built, said Angelina. Maybe that's where the coyotes used to live, as well as the small animals coyotes like to eat. Sounds like all the changes to our ecosystem affect plants and animals, said Angelina. Maybe you three can do some research to find out more, suggested Miss Morales. Yeah, said Susie. Once we know more about it, maybe we can make a plan to protect the animals and plants from all these developments and stop disrupting the food chain. Great idea, said Angelina. We can start right away. Questions you're going to answer are: what ecosystems are you interested in learning more about? And is human activity causing that ecosystem to become imbalanced? After you've thought about those two questions, I want you to think about how can you use the design process to create an action plan to protect the animals in that ecosystem. You're not going to answer these questions right on this slide. You're going to come here to this next slide. Here, once you're no longer in present mode, make sure you're not in present mode for this, and you should be able to type right on underneath the question. So just start typing and answer the question. If you need to add a new slide because you need more space, feel free to do so. Once you're done, go back into Canvas and make sure to submit this activity. Thanks, guys. Good luck.